controversial take, but you are failing your children by not being in the best possible shape. I know, bold fucking claim. Every time I talk about this, it fucking upsets people. And understandably. Because, well, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out on this one. And don't get me wrong. I understand how hard it is as a parent to be in great fucking shape. I know how limited your time is and how it can feel the height of self-indulgence to work out, to look after your body, to put aside that time for it. And yet, it is your duty, your honor, and your obligation to be the best example possible for your children. To lead by example. To show them, well, what a good life looks like. And despite what this whole body positivity movement would have you believe, that's looking after yourself and being in great shape is one of the most fundamental, basic principles that you must have to have a great life. Looking after your body, the thing that delivers everything in your life, isn't a nicety, isn't a would-be nice thing, it's a necessity. It is a requirement. And that doesn't take away from how difficult that is and how hard that is to manage. And how much we as fathers already have on our plate. But it's still a requirement. It is still something that has to get fucking done. And you cannot be leading your best life if you're not in great fucking shape. You are leaving potential. You are leaving opportunities. You are leaving inspiration for your children on the fucking table. You are leaving lifelong memories on the table by not being in great shape. And when I say great shape, look, having a six-pack, the physique to match is wonderful. Like, don't get me wrong, talk about a confidence boost. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the ability to do anything at the drop of a hat. It's the ability to play with your children on the level that they want to play at. It's the ability to show up and do what they want, need, and require. It's to climb, jump, run, get on the floor, play roughhousing, play silly games. It's all those things. It is the ability, well, to have freedom to do what you want in your life, to undertake any adventure at any moment without a thought process, without thinking about it, without worrying, A, are you capable, or B, are you about to fucking injure yourself? Which, having witnessed it a couple of times, which is kind of fucking scary in its own right, that will probably scar your children. Because I watched a guy tear his quad, trying to be the fun dad, but hadn't put in the work earlier, hadn't put in the work to be able to have that capacity. Or the disappointment in your children's face because you say no, because you can't do it. You know, I've told these stories before. As I said, I saw a dad tear his quad and watched as his 5-year-old, in just lack of understanding but terror, watch as her father writhed around on the ground in pain, then be taken away in an ambulance. Or the disappointment on one of my daughter's friend's face because her father couldn't get her into the playground like I got my kids, because there's a fence there and they had to walk all the way around to the gate. whereas I just lifted my kids over and jumped the fence. These are small, insignificant moments in the time frame, but they add up into a lifetime of things, of setting standards, of how your child will view the world. The one we have to remember is that you will be your daughter's first love and your son's first hero. What image do you want to set for that? What representation do you want to set? I don't know about you, but I want to set the bar as high as humanly possible. I want to set the bar that they want to elevate on that. That they don't accept mediocrity in their life, that they want to and know is possible. Not just aspire to be or to find, but know is humanly possible. And then on top of that, that when my children eventually figure me out, because it will happen, that is an unquestionable moment, and one that I hope I live up to the standard. But at some point, your children will figure out who you truly are. Not through the rose-tinted glasses of a child, but as an adult. They will go, oh, that's who my father was as a man. And I pray to God that I come up worthy. That when we reach that point, that I am worthy of that. That it isn't a slap in the face. That it isn't this moment of, oh, fuck, that's who Dad was? No, I hope they'll go, yeah, Dad was that guy. Dad is that man. It wasn't talk. It wasn't rose-tinted glasses. It was fact. And it seems like a categorically large jump to being in shape is how we get there. But as I said, being in shape is the fundamental fucking principle of this. It's where it all starts. Being in great shape is where you learn the skills of grit, determination, consistency, work ethic, mental toughness, fortitude, discipline over motivation, a man of your word, results take time. The list goes on and on and on. But you can also then be teaching your children these lessons early on, so that they don't have to learn them later in life. They don't have to go through the hardship of discovering these skills. They're just ingrained in them from the get-go. Because it isn't do as I say. It's monkey see, monkey do. Who your children will fundamentally be is based on who you are and how you lead your life. They are picking up these habits, these thought processes, these actions, these skills, not through what you say, not through what you expose them to, but how you live your life. That is way more fucking powerful than anything else that you could ever do. And the actions that you choose to take at this point, well, they matter. They truly matter. And I think if you are living as the best parent you are, and I'm assuming you are, you want to be a great fucking father. Like, that's one of my greatest desires in life, is to be the best father I can possibly be. And I'm constantly questioning myself. I'm constantly analyzing and looking at the choices I make and wondering and pondering if I am truly doing a great job. Which I think is part of that as well. If you're not questioning it and asking the question, well, that's a bigger fucking problem in itself. We must ask the question of what choices you are making, of what actions you are, and then taking a hard look on whether they could have been better. But we are in this life to lead by example. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but fuck, at least try your best. Fuck, at least try and show up as the best version you can possibly be. And you want to give your children the best opportunity for that. You want to teach them that health and fitness and exercise isn't something to be feared, isn't something that's hard or awful or uncomfortable. It's just a part of life. And in fact, executed properly is a wonderful, joyous part of life. You just build that into that's the normal. That's just what we do. We eat good food to fuel our bodies. We do exercises to help our body function. We look after our body in recovery. We do these things to lead the best possible life. And if you lead by example in those areas, your children will never know the difference. They'll never know that that's not normal until you get to a point and they go, oh, well, that's all good. I've already established these habits. And we've spoken about it before, but the bar is on the fucking floor for a lot of this shit. Setting a phenomenal standard and setting your children up for greatness in their own life isn't as a monumental task as you would think, because the standard is on the floor. I had one with this. So my kids are doing jiu-jitsu. And within that, they have these things that they teach every 2 months. They try and teach them life lessons. Fucking love it. I'm all for it. And you can earn points from doing the things to then they have a games day and there's rewards and prizes and all this kind of stuff if the kids can enact the life lessons. And at the moment, they're doing health. And so we get this printout and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, can we do this? Because all of the things you're saying that they can earn their points, like, that's just their life. Like, that's just what they do in all areas of their life. And it's things like eat fruit, eat meat, go outside, do exercise, all these kinds of things. And I was like, they don't know any different. And this was highlighted to me when the leader of the class was sharing with them, and they were like, so what have we done this week? And one of the kids was like, I ate an apple this week. And my daughter, Lexi, turns to me and goes, Daddy, what did they do wrong? Why did they only get one apple this week? And a couple of other kids were like, oh, I ate a bit of fruit this week. My kids are just perplexed. They're like, oh, why are they being punished that there's only getting this small amount of fruit? Because for my kids, that's all, that's one of their favorite things. They have a bit of fruit with every meal. They don't know any different. That's just normal. And that's what you want to pass on to them. That's what you want to teach them. That this is just how we should live our life. This isn't a diet. This isn't a, short-term thing. We exercise every day. We eat good food every day. We fuel our body every day. We look after our health and fitness every single day. This is the reality that we should be embodying, because we're living in a world where that is so fucking fundamentally rare that it is astronomical. That 2 out of 3 Australians are overweight or obese. That they're estimating by, I believe it's 2030, that 2 out of 3 children will be overweight or obese. What kind of life are you setting them up for if that is the case? It is why you have to set the standard. It's why you have to look after your health and fitness. It's why it matters so much that at whatever stage of life you're at, that you make this choice right fucking here to be the best version of yourself, to push forward and do this, not for you, but for them, for your children, for their sake, so that you can lead by example, so that you don't miss out on opportunities. If you've been listening to my stuff for a while, one of the reasons why I started was because it's always fucking embarrassing to admit, but I was so out of shape. I was the walking hypocrisy. I had man tits, my stomach hung over my pants, like I hated the man in the mirror. I got questions off my daughter like, Daddy, why are your boobies bigger than mummy's? Fuck, that's a question every man wants to hear from his daughter. These kinds of things. But one of the things was I wasn't able to do the things I wanted to do with my kids. I couldn't participate the way I wanted because I was eating shit. My joints were inflamed, my shoulder hurt, my knees hurt, my ankles hurt. All those injuries I'd done from when I was young, dumb and stupid were coming back to haunt me because I wasn't looking after me. So I couldn't throw them around. I couldn't catch them. I couldn't do the things I wanted to do with them. I couldn't be the man that they deserved, the father that they deserved. That's a sad, sad fucking day. On top of that, I was looking at, look, it was probably 20 years away. I was looking at it and going, if I continue down this path, I'm heading towards an early grave. I'm not going to get to see my kids grow up. I'm not going to get to see them have children. I'm not going to get to see the incredible things they're going to do in their life. Because I was too fucking selfish to make the right choices. I was too selfish to give up cheap fucking dopamine, to give up alcohol, to give up junk food, to give up stuff in my face. I was being a fucking child and being selfish about it. I was putting not even my own satisfaction, but my own greed and in the moment need and compulsions over my children's happiness. And that's an untenable situation. That is unacceptable and something that I cannot continue, something that I couldn't abide by. And so I changed. So I made the firm fucking decision, and I made it over and over and over and over again. And by no stretch of the imagination was it fucking easy to be 380 days into this process now. But it was the greatest decision I've ever made. It was the most important decision I ever made. It was one that had to be done. Not for me, but for them. To show them what is possible, to give them the best life, and to make sure that I'm around for as much of it as humanly possible. Because my goal now is to live to 120 or more while being strong, fit and healthy, to participate in as much of life as I can partake. I want to meet their kids and their kids and their kids. I want to live for generations. And look, that might not be realistic, but fuck it, I'm going to take the best shot I can have at it. And I choose that, and participating in living my best life with my family and my children over the cheap dopamine hit and that moment of joy from eating junk food or highly processed things or alcohol or whatever the fuck it is that delivers me long-term no joy, no satisfaction, no fulfillment. And that's what I mean when I say that you are failing your children by not being in great shape. You are choosing selfish behaviors over the incredible life that you could have with them and helping them build their best life. And it's the height of selfishness to do that. And it's the irony of it. I actually think blocking out time, sacrificing your cheap dopamine to be able to work out, to eat right, to fuel your body the right way, is actually one of the most selfless acts that you could ever give. It's one of the most selfless things that you could ever do for your children, is take the time, money, effort into being strong, fit, capable men. And it's not going to be easy. but it's damn well fucking simple. If you love your children, this is a requirement. That's just fundamentally how I see it. It is a requirement that you look after you so that you can be there and lead by example and show them what is possible. Show them that you care. Show them that you love them, and show them by being there and being present and being able to live the longest and most fulfilled life possible. That's what this is fundamentally about. It's about stepping up for your kids. And that starts with building the foundation of great fucking health, of great fitness, and going from there. So my question for you, my friend, is, are you willing to step up for your children? Are you willing to do the work? As I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It ain't going to be fucking easy. It's simple as fuck. You make a decision and then you just do it every single day. You continue to make that decision over and over and over and over again, every single day. It's not easy, but it's simple. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's simple. So if you are ready for that, and I feel that you are, my friend, I feel that you are, because you're right here. Click the link in my bio. Sign up for Chasing Greatness Daily. Let's begin the process. Let's show you, show your children, show the world what you are capable of, and that you are capable of being the greatest version of yourself. Not for you, but for them. Now is your moment. Now is the time. It's time to stop wasting it and start being about it. Lead by example for your children. Stop letting them down and show them what dad is capable of, so that they know that they are capable of anything. So click the link in my bio and let's make that a reality. But until then, I'll talk to you tomorrow.